Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county of Shelby, in the state of Tennessee. And today's date, early Monday morning, November the 28th, 2016, time 3:50 a.m. First, say thank you to all my fans, my supporters, for your continued encouragement and support. And I'll continue to keep myself employed right here in this Memphis tri-state area. I'll continue to further my education in mobile college online, pursuing my associate degree studying being administrative and concentration marketing. And the music here in the background is African hip hop. And you can go online and listen to music. I'm turning the music down. For today's video, we're going to continue talking about African traditional religion. And African traditional religion is being taught at institutions higher learning, meaning colleges and universities. And in sub-Saharan Africa, you can earn a bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD, studying African traditional religion. Where's sub-Saharan Africa? Well, let's look at a map. Now, this is a language distribution map. It shows you the people that live on the continent of Africa. It shows you the language that they speak, and it shows you where they live on the continent of Africa. Now, the blue color, it shows you it represents the Afro-Asiatic. The yellow color represents the Nilo-Saharan. The dark orange color represents the Niger-Congo A. The light orange color represents the Niger-Congo B, the Bantu. And it also shows you a little portion of sub-Saharan Africa. And this is the bottom half of the map. And as you see on the side, it shows you what the colors represent. It shows you that the blue color represents the Afro-Asiatic. Shows you that the yellow color represents the Nilo-Saharan. Shows you that the dark orange color represents the Niger-Congo A. The light orange color represents the Niger-Congo B, the Bantu. And that green color, that is two groups of people. Two groups of people. The Kway people, pastoralists. The Sand people are the hunter-gatherers. Now, over there on the island of Madagascar, that purple lavender color, it's the Austronesians. And the Austronesians are the people that live in Indonesia. And the people in Indonesia, they are migrated from Indonesia. They settled and colonized the island of Madagascar. They are not the original inhabitants of the island of Madagascar. Now this is a Niger-Congo distribution map. Now when I copy this map out the printer, a little small portion at the bottom got left out. It shows you the Niger-Congo languages, the primary branch, Niger-Congo. It shows you the South both, Bantu, Bantu of the side Bantu, your other East Benue Congo, your West Benue Congo, your Kway, and it also shows your North Bolt, Kru, Sanufo, your Gur Volta languages, your Adamawa, your Bunjian language, your other primary branches, your Kordofan, your Mandi, your Atlantic, and below the Atlantic, that's the Dogon. Now this is a Niger Congo language distribution map also. And it also shows you sub-Saharan Africa. It shows you the languages that the people speak. Shows you the Atlantic Wolo, the Fule. It shows you the Mandi, the Bambara, Maliki, Manika, Dayule. Shows you the Kru, the Gur, Moor language, the Kwe, Bali, Akan, your Iwa, your Dogon, your Ajoy, your Adaman, your Bunjan language, your Baye, Banda, your Zandi, your Kordofani, your non-Bantor, Yaruba, and Igbo, your Bantor, Fang, Tiki, Lingale, Mongo, and Congo, Choki, Lube, Luganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Sukume, Kikuyu, the Bantu, Swahili, Makawe, Nyanje, Bembe, Shone, Tisange, Northern Soto, Zulu, Southern Soto, Kosa, Tiswane, Ndange, Umbandu. There are many other Niger Congo speaking groups that are not even listed on this map. Just as a reminder, when you this is a map of the Afro-Asiatic languages, and some of the people that speak Afro-Asiatic, Yosemite groups, Arabic, Hebrew, your Ethiopic, uh, your Berber, your Chadic, Western Chadic, Central Chadic, Eastern Chadic, Maasai, your Cushitic, Northern Cushitic, East Cushitic, Central Cushitic, your Omatic, and as you know, there are listed many groups of people that's like Eritreans who speak Afro-Asiatic, your Somali, that's the Cushitic, or your Hase, that's the Chadic, uh, Hebrew, the Ethiopian, the Amharic. And now this is Nilo-Saharan language distribution. Level's too low. I have to take my pads on. Okay, Bertay, the Central Sudanic, Denju, Eastern Jebel, the Fur, Kedu, Komuz, Kuliak, Kuneme, Mabian, Nire, Nilotic, Nubian, Mayuman, Saharan, Songhay, your Yosemite, your Taman, your Tima, Kijit, and as you know, there are many other Nilo-Saharan speaking groups of people on the continent of Africa. My glass, man. So that was just a reminder of all people that are African speaking peoples, and then all those like myself who live here in the United States of America, or in Canada, or in Mexico, Central America, South America, uh, the Caribbean, Europe, the Middle East, South Asia, East Asia, and on the continent of Africa. We address us. We are addressed as African American or African Canadian or Mexican, but there are many people that are African. They're Niger Congo, Afro-Asiatic, they're Nilo-Saharan, they're Quay, they're San, and also the people that live on the island of Madagascar that are close to the continent of Africa. And so that's what, people who are from the continent of Africa, our ancestors um, from the continent of Africa, and we are descendants of people from the continent of Africa. We're African. Before we get to our reading, uh, we'll go back and just to okay, about the books. When you refer to the history of street gangs in America, when you refer to the history of street gangs in America, and in the history of street gangs in America, there are references made to books, just like in the introduction, some very significant books that are referred to by the writers of the history of street gangs in America, Mr. Howell and Mr. Moore, and also in Wikipedia, was that gangs in the United States, which refers you when you scroll all the way down, and when you be on Wikipedia, and gangs in the United States, scroll all the way down to the references, and in the references, it's going to refer you to the information that Mr. Howell and Mr. Moore, the history of street gangs in America, in the National Gang Center. See, when you scroll, so Wikipedia and the information, what is titled Gangs in the United States, and the history of gangs in the history of street gangs in America. So that information is correlates, and so there's no discrepancy whatsoever. You can refer to both the information in Wikipedia, gangs in the United States, and you can also refer to gangs or the history of street gangs in America, because they both referring to each other. Now, in history of street gangs in America, in the introduction, the writers of history of street gangs in America made references to some books. And the first book they made reference to was written, the author of the book, Luke Owen Pike. He wrote the book, A History of Crime in England, illustrating the changes of the laws in the progress of civilization. And you can find that book online, because you can read the whole book from the beginning to the end, and you can find online. And cause we read some of it yesterday, and there was no whoever uploaded it onto the computer. There was no need to worry about viruses and things next. And also in the introduction, it was made reference to Pearson, his first name, the author of the book, Hooligan, A History of Respectable Fears. His first name is Jeffrey, Geoffrey, Jeffrey Pearson. And I know I found the book online, but there was a possibility that there were viruses things of that. So you have to be careful before you download anything to your computer or laptop or whatever, uh, because viruses, be online and things and they mess your computer up. And so that's the reason why I didn't download. But in the course of this week, uh, I'm gonna try to see what about this book. And the next reference in the introduction uh, is a book written by the author. The name of the author, spell his first name is Luc, Luck. Last name Sante, Sante. And the title in the book that he wrote is Low Life, Lures and Snares of Old New York. Low Life, Lures and Snares of Old New York. And like I say, found the book online, but uh, because of the possibility that there are viruses and malware and all these things, you have to be really careful about trying to download anything to your computer from from offline, because it'll mess your computer up. So you have to be really careful about that. But the book can be found. But if you're trying to read it offline, you have to be careful before you download. Make sure there are no viruses, because it'll mess your computer up. And so, and also, we, we, we continue to emphasize that there's something that we have to do something about the street gang and the drug gang problem that we have here in the United States of America, Chicago, Illinois, Los Angeles, California, the East Coast, South, North, Midwest, gangs, period. And the United States government passed laws even in the past. Just because the word gang wasn't in the law, that don't mean that the United States government wasn't doing anything about the gang. That's the reason why we made, for example, we was talking about uh, President Abraham Lincoln, and before he was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth, uh, the United States government went into a civil war. The South, uh, seceded from the Union and formed a Confederacy. And so the Confederate states and the Union states went, went into a civil war. Well, as you know, history tells us, the Confederacy lost the war, lost the Civil War, and the Union won the Civil War, and President Abraham Lincoln first uh, freed the slaves, Emancipation Proclamation, and then some amendments got passed, uh, and some laws got changed and so forth, the Reconstruction Act and things of this nature. And but before President Abraham Lincoln could even run for another term, he was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth. And what we were saying yesterday is that, and what we've been saying is that the way we've been taught history, American history, world history, is that organized crime and the gang was left out. It was left out of history. And so when you put organized crime and gang into history, it's a possibility. Me personally, based on limited information, I couldn't say that President Abraham Lincoln was or wasn't a gang member or affiliated with some type of organized crime, because slavery uh, could be because of the gang, like we was talking about, the people who was involved in uh, putting slaves on the ships, like Sir John Hawkins. Based on the information that we have about England, I can't say he wasn't a gang member. can't say he wasn't during that period of time. People try to say he wasn't, but I can't say he wasn't. I can't say based on the time frame. I would say it's a possibility was a gang member, and based on the information we have now at the East Coast and New York and the history of street gangs in America, who am I to say that Abraham Lincoln wasn't a gang member, wasn't affiliated, wasn't involved in organized crime because of the slave trade? And when you emancipated, the Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves, who you already fought a civil war. The South didn't want to free the slaves. The South didn't want to free the slaves, so that's organized crime. That can be considered organized crime. And then when you get to the local level, the gang, the people who was enforcing the slave, the taskmasters, that's the gang. That's the gang. The people that would kill the slave for the slave master. See, that's organized crime in the gang. So when we talk about John Wilkes Booth, you're not gonna say to me, and I'm not gonna say to you that he wasn't a gang member, that he wasn't. Excuse me, that John Wilkes Booth wasn't a member of one of those gangs with the European gang from England. I can't say he wasn't. If you shot Abraham Lincoln, what reason would you shoot Abraham Lincoln? See, the Civil War already been fought. The South lost the war, and so Abraham Lincoln is the president at the time of the Civil War, and the Union won the war. So here is John Wilkes Booth and the people that live in the South, the Confederacy. They don't like that they lost the war. See, they don't like that they lost the war. And they don't like that Abraham Lincoln's the president telling them what to do and passing law, the Reconstruction Act. So what did John Wilkes Booth do, and what did organized crime do? What did the gang do? They found somebody to go kill Abraham Lincoln to help keep the gang going. So that's what we'll continue to talk about, is the exclusion of organized crime in the gang from history. So what we try to do is include organized crime and gang in American history and world history. And we've been talking about the RICO Act and the organized crime bill that was passed. That the RICO Act was included in the Racketeering, Influence, Corrupt Organization Act, and in the United States Department of Justice, the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, the Community-Oriented Policing Services, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the Project Safe Neighborhoods, and also the gang prevention, an overview of research and program that Mr. James C. Howard did. That's when we talk about the risk factors, things of that. The Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention, the Office of the United States Attorney, the Criminal Street Gang Statute 1457 is in the United States Attorney's Manual, and it's USC Code 521. Right, yeah. And it's 521 USC, United States Code 521. And that's in the United States Attorney. And we also been the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, prevent gang membership, prevent gang membership, and the injury prevention and control. That's also the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and the Division of Violence Prevention, and also the Center for Disease Control and Prevention with the Office of Justice Program of the National Institute of Justice, changing course, preventing youth from joining gangs, the anti-gang strategies, the National Institute of Justice Prevention, Intervention, Assessment, and Suppression, the National Gang Intelligence Center, and the Organized Crime and Gang Section, and also include other federal departments that include state, local, the National Gang Center, and also the National Gang Center, the compilation of state laws against gangs. And then we continue to emphasize the definitions the word gang and gangster. The definition, see, this is the etymology of these words and the definitions of the word mob. See, these are English words: gang, mob, mobster. Now that word thug, that's an Indian word from the people that live in India. And the word goon, that's an English word. We know the etymology of the word. Hooligan, hooligan, ruffians. So we know the definition of all these words. We continue to emphasize the etymology of these words, and we also emphasize the anti-hazing, because we know that hazing is something that the sororities and the fraternities use to initiate each other into the sorority and the fraternity. They also teach the street gangs, including organized crime, how to haze each other as to become members of the gang, becoming members of the organized crime. They use hazing. So we continue to emphasize not only anti-gang but also anti-hazing. And we know about the stop hazing. You can go online to prevent hazing, and it'll show you all the states that pass laws against hazing. And we're going to continue to emphasize anti-gang, anti-hazing activities, because irregardless of what other people do or don't do, you understand? Yeah, as you can see, the United States government has been doing something about organized crime and about gangs. And we've been showing examples where the United States government, without the word gang being in the law, without organized crime, a bill being passed, to prosecute people for organized crime, the United States government has been doing something about organized crime and gangs, and they continue to do something about organized crime and gangs. And so that's what we're gonna continue to do, irregardless of what other people don't do or don't do. We're gonna continue to emphasize anti-gang, anti-hazing activity, all that gangster rap music, and all that gangster culture. Just not gonna be accepted or allowed or approved of, because as you can see, the United States government passing laws, they teaching children in school, anti-bullying, anti-violence, and also anti-gang and anti-hazing. They teach children about hazing, pass laws and things like that. So it's not something that people are just not, especially the children. When they go to school, they have some type of program. At the school, may not be every school because of funding, but there are a lot of schools they do have some type of program where where the children are being taught about being violent, being bullied, about gangs, not to join gangs and things of this nature, and not to be hazing and things of this nature. So we're gonna get to our reading, and first book that we're gonna read from is a book titled West African Traditional Religion, and the book is written by Dr. Joseph Omaseni Awelelu and Dr. P. Adalumo Dopemu. We're going to be reading from chapter 7, God in the Society. And we're going to be reading from 7.6, some West African secret societies. A. The Albani. Of all the Yoruba society, the Albani Guild is the most important. It is principally a political organization established for the purpose of maintaining law and order in a society. In the past, the Albani possessed great political power. Members met from time to time to settle civil disputes, to deal with criminal charges, and to discuss general matters concerning the well-being of the community. They were kingmakers, and they also curbed the powers of the chiefs and checked kings tending to become too powerful. The Albani society found in all parts of Yoruba land. Nearly all the chiefs and leading persons in the community belong to this society. However, admission tends to be limited to all freeborn men, and membership confers a measure of honor and dignity. I'm going to stop right there. And we just read from A, the Albani, and read from 7.6, some West African secret society. And we read from chapter 7, God in the Society. And we read from the book titled West African Traditional Religion, written by Dr. Joseph Omaseni Awelelu and Dr. P. Adalumo Dopemu. We're going to continue our reading from the book titled African Traditional Religion, a Definition, written by Dr. E. Maloja I. Dobu. And we read from 5, the structure of African traditional religion. And we read from number 5, the practice of magic and medicine. The question which of the two is older is also bound up with the question of their possible origin. Now here also we have contradictory opinions. E.O. James quotes a few authorities in this connection. Fraser asserts that religion is the despair of magic and merely succeeds it in time. This is in agreement with Hegel, who declared that magic preceded religion. To this opinion, Merritt subscribed by saying that prayer came as the magician became frustrated in the achievement of his end, as he came to personify the instruments and symbols of his magical performance. Then the imperative passes into the objective, and spell became prayer. On the other hand, Gibbon said that belief in the supernatural, which is the characteristic mark of religion, was prior to magic, and that magic was only a degradation or relapse in the evolution of religion. John Oman lent his support to this when he said that magic, when it comes to being religion and becomes a routine of superstition, when it no more stirs the feelings which originally produced it, but is purely formal and ossifying ritual, is moral as well as intellectual stagnation. We'll stop right there. The practice of magic and medicine. That's what we just got to read from number 5, the practice of magic and medicine. And read from 5, the structure of African traditional religion. And we just read it from the book titled African Traditional Religion, a Definition, written by Dr. E. Beloja Adowu. We're going to continue our reading from the book titled African Religions and Philosophy, written by Dr. John S. M. Beatty. Number 6, we read for number 6, God and nature. And read for C, God, natural objects and phenomena. Rain is regarded by African peoples to be one of the greatest blessings of God. For that reason, he is commonly referred to as the rain giver. Some peoples like the El Gigo, Igbo, Suk, Tonge, and others personify rain as a divinity, a supernatural being, or a son of God. Others associate God with rain so closely that the same word or its cognate is used for both. For example, the Didinge name for God is Tenukujin, and for rain, Temu. The Adome use Owo for both. The Maasai word Inke is used for both God and rain or sky, and some of the Suk have Ale for both. The Ale and Noor speak of God as falling in the rain, yet clearly distinguishing between him and the rain. Others, like the Akanbang and Tia, consider rain to be the saliva of God, this being a symbol of great blessing. Many societies make sacrifices, offerings, and prayers to God in connection with rain, especially during periods of drought. Rainmakers are reported in all parts of the continent, their duties being to solicit God's help in providing rain, or in halting it if too much falls. We'll stop right there. And we just read from C, God, natural object, and phenomenon. And we just read from number 6, God and nature. And we just read from the book titled African Religion and Philosophy, written by Dr. John S. M. B. We're going to continue our read from the book titled Concepts of God in Africa, written by Dr. John S. M. B. We read from Part 4, God and Man. Read from number 17, Worship, Prayers and Other Appeals to God. And we read prayers. The Barosi also pray every morning. The old men rising up early and making an offering of water in a wooden plate, which is placed in a cattle shed. The head of the family kneels down and facing east, represents twice, and repeats twice the royal salute, Yosho, in one word, recorded prayer. A man addressing God as the great king, to whom no man is comparable, the one who shows innumerable favors and great compassion to his servants, to whom the servants go to receive his blessing and be strengthened. The prayer goes on to address God as powerful. Everything is possible for thee, and reigning over all things, as the one who can call to himself all men and none can refuse, and as him who helps the weak and feeds the hungry. In this same prayer, the man goes on to tell God that the people are bringing to him their children, so that he might educate them by thy power. This is the court language of addressing the paramount ruler or chief of the Barosi. Don't stop right there. And we just read prayers. And we just read number 17, worship, prayers and other appeals to God. And we just read from part 4, God and Man. And we just read from the book titled Concepts of God in Africa, written by Dr. John S. M. Beatty. And gonna get ready to end today's video. And again, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the state of Tennessee. It's in the county of Shelby. And I thank all my fans, my support for your continued encouragement and support. And I'll continue to work on my entertainment, my music interest. And we're gonna continue to emphasize anti-gang, anti-hazing. And till my next video, take care of yourself. Wish each and every one of you the very best.